everybody. Welcome back to Cure for the Common Game. Today, we are going to look at the new legends from Commander 2020. This is a set symbol that you see up on the screen now, and these are the 5 decks. That's right, we've got 5 decks this year. By now, the entire list has been spoiled, so I'll admit, I have not looked at every single card. When I build the file on my computer, I save all the images. I do so by number, the card number, so they appear in order and whatnot. So a lot of these I haven't even read. So we're going to read them, brainstorm together as to about how we can use them. So first off, we are going to start with the partner pairs. Trin and Silver here together. Now, obviously they partner, so they're both going to be... Keep in mind, I'm looking at these through the lens of being commanders. Because all of these that we're going to see today are legendary creatures. I figure I would just do a video on those because, sometimes I kind of get long-winded. So, we've got Trin here. 3/3 for 4 human soldier. At the beginning of your end step, if you attacked this turn, create a soldier token. Okay. And let's see what Silver does. So we get a 4/2 menace, some evasion. Sack a human, put a 1/1 counter on this. It gains indestructible until end of turn. So it looks like we want to attack, and we are feeding humans to our pet cat, Nightmare, which, Okay, how am I going to build this? This is white, black, red, so Mardu. I'm not sure. We've got a human and a cat. I don't know. There's definitely an altar possibility in there, but at the beginning of your end. So it doesn't matter how many creatures you attacked with or how many attack phases that you had. So it's just, if you just attacked, you get a token. Now obviously it pairs well with the Anointed Procession to get 2 tokens. But now the Silver part kind of makes you want to go tribal humans, or makes me want to go tribal humans, to where you can do like 3 colors Mardu humans and have a lot of recursion effects maybe in black, and just feed all your humans to Silver suited up and kind of Pseudo Voltron it. I don't know. Probably. Next we have Halden, Avid Arcanist, that pairs with Paco, Arcane Retriever. So Halden, or Haldan, whatever. 1/4 human wizard for 3. Am I the only one getting a... oh, shoot. What was the name of that? The gray wizard that lived. Not Gandalf. The earthy one. Anyway, never mind. Okay. 3 mana, 1/4 human wizard. You may play non-creature cards from exile with fetch counters on them if you exiled them. And you may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast those spells. So we got our, we're playing fetch with our dog. Okay. 5 mana, 3/3 haste. When Paco attacks, exile the top card of each player's library and put a fetch counter on them. Okay. Put a 1/1 counter on Paco for each creature card exiled this way. So the whole plan with Halden is to put a 1/1. Okay, hold on. I'm having trouble wrapping my mind around this. So Paco is the one that exiles. Paco feeds itself. So you get the growth on Paco from Paco, and you get the card advantage from Halden. Okay, and we are in blue, red, green. So, you may cast non-creature cards from exile. I don't know. Some part of me wants to alter this to the cliff of the big red dog, but counter on each of them. Yeah, I don't know. That leads us to Nakara, Lair Scavenger. 3 mana for a 2/2 human cleric. Super balling art. I'm glad this is going to be foil. Partners with Yannick. 2/2 menace. Whenever another creature you control leaves the battlefield, if it had one or more counters on it, you draw a card and lose a life. And it's going to pair with Yannick, a Celestia Hyena Beast. 3/3 vigilant. When it enters the battlefield, exile another creature you control until this leaves the battlefield. When you do, distribute X/1/1 counters among any number of target creatures where X is the exile creature's power. So, we are... Has he got her staff? Whoa. Did the hyena just eat the master here? What just happened? I'm not ready for that. Okay, but anyway, the partner pair. So the hyena comes in, eats something, gets the counters, spreads out the counters equal to its power, and then a creature you control leaves the battlefield. So you draw a card and lose a life. So that's for sure her staff, though. I'm sorry, I can't get past that. Okay, so what are we doing with it? Green, white, black. That is like all of the colors that bring creatures back from the dead. So you are exile another creature you control. So we're exiling it. So we're not getting it back, most likely. Oh, yes, we are, until Yannick leaves the battlefield. So when you do distribute, so we won't... it's a shame. My first thought is that Groundbreaker, the green ball lightning, because it's going to die at end of turn anyway, right? So if we spend 3 for the Groundbreaker, now granted we're not doing this on the early turns because you got to have 4 mana to cast Yannick here. So if I Groundbreaker out there, so I've got the 6/1 trample haste that dies at end of turn, and then play Yannick, exile it, I get 6/1/1 counters that I'm probably just going to put on Yannick itself to make it a 9/9. That seems good, right? And then I like the leaves the battlefield. This may be... I can see Nakara just being a standalone mono black commander. Well, no. Because leaves the battlefield, you need the blink effects of white. Okie dokie. Let's look at Brawlin'. Sky Shark Rider. So for 4 mana, we get a 3/3 human shaman. Whenever you discard a spell, put a 1/1 counter on Brawlin', and it deals 1 damage to each opponent. And of course, target shark gains trample, right? So, we want to be discarding. In red, this is not hard to do. And then we have Shabraz. Somebody tell me how to say this word. I think wizards just be cramming letters together and see what we come up with. The Sky Shark. So we get a 3/3 flying shark bird, which I can't think of anything in this world that is scarier. The only thing that makes me not as scared of sharks is that they are relegated to the ocean. But if they could fly, oh my. Anyway, 3/3 flyer. Whenever you draw a card, you put a counter on Shabraz and gain 1 life. And of course, you can grant humans flying. So, in red and blue, there are a lot of cards like, drawing and discarding. In red, we have, Faithless Looting and Cathartic Reunion, and Tormenting Voice. The list goes on and on. Blue actually had it years before then, before they actually pushed that over into red. So there may not be a whole lot of new blue cards that draw and discard, but there's a lot of old blue cards that are already in existence that draw and discard. So you could just about do a draw discard is it deck with this, and as long as you can produce the white mana to play your Grandma Shark. God, it's so hard. Yeah, that's probably how I will build it, is just so much drawing and discarding, drawing and discarding. Oh, this would be a great deck for the, what's that D&D bag? Bag of Holding, because you're going to be discarding. Yeah, that'd be really sweet. Next we have Caesar, Ruthless Stalker for 4 mana, 3/3. Partners with Ukema, Stalking Shadow, sure. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, put +1/+1 counter on that creature. Is this not the most green thing ever? I haven't actually read this one. So then we have Ukema the Stalking Shadow. We have a Whale Wolf. Right on. 3 mana, 2/2 Whale Wolf. Ukema can't be blocked. I like that. I like that they spelled that out and they didn't use unblockable. Because to my knowledge, unblockable is not a keyword. It's just, English language. Kind of like how indestructible was until they actually made it a keyword. But anyway, when Ukema leaves the battlefield, it deals X damage to target player, and you gain X life, where X is its power. So, on the face, it's going to deal 2. It's going to deal 2 damage. You're going to gain 2 life. If nothing happens to it and makes it bigger. But here, whenever a creature you control does combat damage, this strikes me as green. It's green, blue, black is the pair. So just seems like you want just a whole lot of creatures with unblockable. There's a bunch of them out there, especially in blue-black. That way, they just keep getting bigger. And although you risk over-committing to the board and getting wiped out by Wrath, you've got some green stuff in there to combat that. Some blue stuff for some counter magic to counter those Wraths. So that's not that bad. Yeah, pretty much unblockable deck in those 3 colors. And that is it for the partner pair, so we're going to move on to, I believe these are the face cards. Akeem, the Soaring Wind. We have 2 in blue, red, white. I don't know many of these, but I know that one to be Jeskai. We have a 3/4 bird dinosaur. Yeah. 3/4 flying. Whenever you create 1 or more tokens for the first time each turn, create a bird creature token with flying. Now, 6 mana activation seems like a whole bunch. Creature tokens you control gain double strike till end of turn. So, this doesn't really make you want to go tribal. It kind of makes me want to... I want to reliably be able to create a token on everybody's turn. That's what I want to do. Like maybe a mobilization. So when you activate, because you can do that because it says each turn. So when I make a token on my turn, on player B's turn, player C, player D, I get an extra bird out of it. Now, these birds are just 1/1s. There are bird pumps out there, especially back Onslaught block era. So, but then that creature tokens thing, I mean, obviously the first thing that we all thought of was that 10/10 Eldrazi token, but maybe the Phyrexian Processor. We are playing white, so that may leave us open to some Soul Warden gain life thing. For since we're popping in essentially 2 creatures a turn, gaining those life in it, and that way we've got the life to be able to pay to the Fire Exchange processor. I don't know. Let's see. I'm just seeing where my mind goes with these things. As I said, I have I hadn't really thought in depth about a lot of these, but that's probably how I would do it. Is just a Jeskai token deck where I can reliably make tokens on everybody's turn to take full advantage of that first ability. And then, hey, I get the 6, sure, double strike. We have Gavi Nest Warden. I have to believe that Gavin had something to do with this. This is another. Oh, this is in the same deck, I believe. The same Jeskai deck, because there's 5 decks, 1 per wedge. It's not shard, so wedge. Anyway, 5 mana, 2/5 human shaman. You may play 0 rather than the cycling cost of the first card you cycle each turn. So we're not going to go infinite cycling. Okay. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, create a red and white dinosaur cat creature token. Dinosaur cats. Heck yeah. So, your first instinct here is to just jam your deck full of a lot of cycling cards. We have, but we really only care about cycling once a turn. No, we want to cycle twice a turn. Because the last ability says whenever you draw your second card each turn, now during our draw phase we're going to draw a card, and then when we cycle for free the first time we're going to draw. But on our opponent's turn we have to cycle twice. So we do the expensive cycle for free the first, and then we, 1 mana cycle away the Forgotten Cave or whatever second. So because we want enough cycling cards to where we can reliably do it twice. Draw your second card each turn to get that free 2/2. Now, Jorian Rune also does a thing, second card. Is it draw second card or cast? No, that's cast second spell. There are other draw second card cards out there. So, that's a thing. Now, you could just play Howling Mine and just get the free roll on your turn, but the Howling Mine, I don't know. I don't use Howling Mine as much as I did. Well, probably because I'm out, but there's a specific kind of deck that wants Howling Mine as card draw, Now, Jarina Kudro. 4 mana, 3/3 human soldier. This art is gorgeous. Magali, doing it again. Oh, man. Beautiful. When Jarina enters the battlefield, create a soldier token. For each time you've cast a commander from the command zone this game, other humans get +2/+0. For maximum value, she would be in the 99 with 2 human partner commanders, but I'm not going to do that because this is legendary. I've got to build a deck out of it, right? So, for each time you've cast a commander. So, when we cast her from the command zone the first time, we're going to get 1. So, we're getting... Yeah. We're getting 6 power worth of creatures for 4 mana the first time. Now, the other humans you control get +2/+0. That's what makes me go straight up hardcore tribal humans. That is one heck of a pump. It really is. I think it works well with their granddad. I don't know who General Kudrow is. I would imagine they are related somehow because of the same name. But, yeah, that is a... enters the battlefield. So, we could cast her, sack her a few times, and then if we've cast her like 3 times, what is that, 4, 6, 8? I know that's a big ask. But even if we've just cast her 3 times, we've cast her for 8 and she's on the battlefield, and you've got some kind of crazy like flickering ward or something where you can repeatedly flicker her because it's just enters the battlefield, or maybe just flicker in general, to where every time she comes in, she just makes 3 humans, 3 humans, 3 humans. Or I guess we could do it even if 2, you get, but I feel like you want more than 1. And then the rest of your human tribe is pretty, I mean, the good cards are pretty well spread across these 3 colors, red, white, black. So let's look at Calamax, the Stormsire. Green, blue, red. I have no clue what that color combination is called. I didn't get that color in my Crayola box. We have a 4/4 elemental dinosaur, weren't they all? Whenever you cast your first instant spell each turn, see where this is going. If this is tapped, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. Whenever you copy an instant spell, put a 1/1 counter on it. This is okay. Is this, I mean, this could possibly be the highest density instant spell deck I've ever done. We don't want to cast a whole bunch of instants. We want to cast quality instants. It's a quality over quantity thing here. We don't get the every time we cast an instant bump. We get every time we copy an instant bump. So we want, number one, copyable instants that, matter. A negate doesn't matter. It does not, oh, I'm going to negate. Yeah, no. So, but if we, let's see, like bigger instants to copy, I mean, we're in the colors to do it. And moreover, we're in the copy colors. We're in the fork and the twin cast colors right here. So I may have to purchase me a fork because it seems like, I don't know. It seems like I can't build this without a fork. I don't know. I hadn't priced a fork in a very, very long time. So, but we're playing hardcore instants and just stuff that copies instants. Maybe things that key off of. I don't know that we're going to go like Sphinx of the Bone Wand type thing. That's a huge investment in the game, and that's more of a spell slinger-ish thing. I think I want here giant instants that are just blowouts to copy, so they're double blowouts. You know what I'm saying. Catherul, Aspect Warper. We have 2 white, black, green. Obson? Okay, see, from where I'm sitting, these color combination names are still new to me, and I know they've been out a long time, but they're new to me, okay? So we got a 3/3 Insect Nightmare. Or Nightmare Insect, rather. I wonder how they choose the order of what one comes first. Like in a lot of them, it's like race and then class. But here, the creatures, where it's clearly, multiple different creature types. Just where my mind goes, people. I'm sorry. Whenever this enters the battlefield, put a flying counter on any creature you control if a creature card in your graveyard has flying. Repeat this process for First Strike, Double Strike, Death Touch, Hexproof, Indestructible, Lifelink, Menace, Reach, Trample, and Vigilance. Then put a 1/1 counter on it for each counter put on a creature this way. This one is one that I did read. There are a number of keyword type cards in this set and in Ikoria as well. So I really, really like this. I did actually. I know that there is. Seems like there's an Achroma Angel of Wrath that's in this particular deck. I'll be honest with you, it was not my favorite printing of the art, so I went and I've ordered some different art Achromas. Because really, in this deck, you have white, black, green. These are, Black, of course, is the heaviest one that plays with the graveyard. You can entomb and buried alive and things like that. And, living the dream is you buried alive a Chroma, Zatalpa, and whatever. Vampire Nighthawk, I guess. I don't know. And here we go. Then you put a 1/1 counter on this for each counter put on a creature this way. So, luckily, these keyword counters, I'm really digging the keyword counters, and I like the fact that they're doing little punch-out counters, because that's a lot of tracking that we will have to remember, and I'm glad they're providing us with those tokens. With those counters. I'm sure glad I'm not in the need for a Solemnity anytime soon. But this will be a just all about keywords. This will be, and I hate to use the term, but this will be just keyword soup. That's what it is. Good. And did I skip one? No, I didn't skip one. We have Kelson the Plague. Whoa, this is cheap. Just red, white, black for a 2/2. Human Assassin. See? Race, class. Vigilance, Haste. I'm so on board with this already. It gets 1/1 for each experience counter you have. Oh, experience is back. Tap. Kelson deals 1 damage to target creature you don't control. When that creature dies this turn, you get an experience counters. Oh, okay. Here's what I'm doing. This is red, white, black. So we are definitely finding a way to give this thing Death Touch. It's definitely going to have Death Touch. That way, that 1 damage reliably kills whatever target it hits. And then we are going to be untapping via, like, Mage Right Stone or that Morningtide equipment that untaps, or not a lot of stuff in those colors that actually untap target creature. White, maybe. There's a little bit there. Repeatable, yeah. Now, red, white, black, there's we can dive back into the commander set from years past that had experience counters, because I want to say there was Kalim, red, white. Was that the experience counter? I can't remember. Seemed like that was very, very man intensive though. But the cards that just gain more experience counter things with Death Touch, and when that creature dies this turn, shoot, yeah, I like it. Vigilance, Haste. We have Otrimi, the Ever Playful. 3 black, green, blue, 6/6 Nightmare Beast. Got ourselves a Mutate card. Now, the Mutate cost in this particular case is cheaper. Sometimes they're not, sometimes they are. It just depends. Now, for a colorless black, green, blue, you can mutate it. But what we get for face value is a 6-mana 6/6 trample. When this creature deals combat damage to a player, return target creature card with Mutate from your graveyard to your hand. Now, when we mutate, maybe I should have done a thing for abilities. No, because the Wizards did that. Y'all have probably already seen it anyway. You can cast this spell for its mutate cost. Put it over or under target non-human creature you control. Humans don't want to mutate. They mutate into the creature on top plus the abilities from underneath it. So, with a few exceptions, you're probably going to want your big power toughness on top, and then like the abilities on bottom. So, like I said, exceptions to every rule, but this is whenever this creature. Now, how come they don't use this templating on every single creature? Because y'all remember, like, every other card ever that references its own name, when Cathera Aspect Warper, and then this one says, when this creature. Why can't they just use that? When this creature deals combat damage to a player. So, 6/6 trample, I mean, how many times are we really going to bank on that ability. The game's going to be well into being played before we even get our commander here on the board. Now, granted, we could mutate it. It's black, so there's black in there, so we could very easily Vampire Nighthawk on turn 3. And if maybe we got our our perfect mana base on turn 4, we could mutate this on top of the Vampire Nighthawk. Give it, flying, lifelink. Yeah. Maybe. And then it seems like I'm just going to try to find all the mutate cards from these 3 colors and jam them in a deck, which we got a bunch from both sets that we're going through. Tam, Luminous Enigma. We have one an Abzan, white, black, green for a 3/3 Nightmare Beast. By the way, am I the only one who's starting to look back at all of those beast cards from, what was that, Odyssey block? Each other creature you control enters the battlefield with an additional vigilance counter on it. That's sweet. Grants vigilance even after it's gone because the counter stays. 3 colorless, remove 3 counters from among creatures you control. Put the top 3 cards of your library into your graveyard, and then return a permanent card with converted mana cost 3 or less from the graveyard to the battlefield. Oh my gosh, that's a whole bunch of 3s. 3/3, a 3:3 counters, 3 cards, 3, or yeah. Anyway, bunch of 3s. I'm sure there's a reason for that. So we are removing counters from our own creatures. Seems like I did a deck similar to that not long ago, maybe in the past couple months. So you remove 3 counters from among creatures you control. So you're going to want like every creature in the deck to come in with counters, right? And this grants an additional vigilance counter, so we can probably, creatures we know we're not planning on attacking with, we can remove that as one of the counters, right? So we're going to put the top 3 cards of your library in your graveyard. So we mill 3. And then we return a permanent card with CMC 3 or less in the graveyard of the battlefields. Well, that just right there just says we need to be 3 CMC or less on our permanents. And we need to pretty well have a high enough density of it because, a third of our deck is 33 cards. And we want to make sure that we hit one. So probably, 40? 45? I tend to do extreme things, so I'll probably do 50. Hell, I may do 100. Top 3 cards of your library. Return a permanent card. So it only applies to permanents. That's cool. Yeah. Seems like an awful lot of hoops to jump through just to get a cheap card back. Now, granted, this is white, black, and green. There is some loops that we can do in those colors. Or there's loops in every color, but those are like the busted ones, Damn, maybe. And this is just, it's, yeah. Zixris? No, there's no Z in that, Brian. I do not know how to pronounce this word. The Writhing Storm. X here. That's what I'm going to call him. X. The Snake Leviathan 3/5 for 5 mana. Flying. And I'll be honest, the artwork here, it took me a while to figure out where the building ended and the creature stopped. Whenever an opponent draws a card except for the first one they draw in each of their draw steps, create a 1/1 green snake creature tokens. Well, there's our Howling Mind deck. Whenever this deals combat damage to a player, you and that player draw that many cards. Oh, that's cool. So we're going to create snakes. Oh, there's a Kamigawa thing. Legendary snakes you control are indestructible or something. Yeah. Kamigawa coming back for the win. Look, that set needs all it can get. It's terrible. Deals combat damage to a player. So, obviously, the Howling Mine to dependably be able to get a snake on everybody's turn, except for ours. Well, on our turn, we're going to just attack with it and draws a card except for the first one they draw in each of their draw steps. So we are talking about like a windfall or Wheel of Fortune type effects. So except for the first one they draw in each of their draw steps. So Wheel of Fortune gets us 7 cards from each player. So in theory, if nobody's died, 21 snakes. Wow. Now Wheel of Fortune's a $100 card, but I never saw that coming either. But yeah, so maybe is this the Wheels Commander that everybody's been, Howling Mines and Font of Mythoses and hey, everybody, let's draw the cards. Don't worry about it. I don't play black, so I don't have Underworld Dreams. But I totally got the artifact, dude. Psychosis Crawler. That's it. Took me a while, All the information saved in the memory, but I had trouble bringing it up on the screen. Now we're looking at Zaxara the Exemplary. I can pronounce this, apparently. 1 black, green, blue for a 2/3 Nightmare Hydra. That is scary as hell. I'm not going to lie. And that's going to look beautiful in full with all those colors. Is it not? Okay, 2/3 Death Touch. Because sure, why not? Add 2 mana of any one color. We don't see that a lot. When you cast a spell with X in its mana cost, create a 0/0 green Hydra creature token, then put X counters on it. Now, this is one I had stumbled across on Twitter, loved it, took a screenshot, sent it to my buddy Jimmy. He's the Hydra guy of our play group, but he's also known for not liking the color black or red. So, this may... So... Okay, just getting it out there. You slap a Freed from the Real on it, you got infinite blue mana. Okay? Because it costs a blue mana to untap enchanted creature from Freed from the Real. This has to be 2 mana of any one color, so you get blue, use blue to untap it, da-da-da. There you go. You got infinite blue. If that's a thing, hey, it's 1 card in the deck. We do have black for tutors, so... is what it is. But beyond that, the untapping shenanigans, Hydras are buy 1 get 1 free. I love the BOGO Hydra sale. Yay. But even it's not just creatures. So if I Stream of Life, and I have no clue why I would cast Stream of Life, but anyway, it could happen, I guess. But you Brain Geyser or Stroke of Genius or even the good black X spells, Exsanguinate, whatever. Although most of the time Exsanguinate's just ending the game. But anyway, any X spell, whenever you cast a spell, so it can even be a creature, a non-creature. We've got the artifact pingers, This is going to be fun. This is going to be fun to build. I don't... the new Hydra, Pelucranos, from the last set, is now black-green, so that kind of... yeah. Maybe. Oh, that doesn't have X in its casting cost, though, so never mind. And I think alphabetically, is that it? Yeah, we are to the end. I have been just rambling on for like 40 minutes now. That's why I only wanted to do the just the new legendary creatures today. I do appreciate everybody for watching. I know this is it's a tough time to be a Magic player. Really tough time to be a Commander player. But I do encourage everybody to stay safe, support your local game store, and you know I do find myself doing a lot more deck building now that I am playing. Well, actually, that's the story of my life, though, right? But I'm excited about this set. It is kind of there is kind of an information overload bit with both sets at the same time, but we as paper players have more than enough time to digest it all before it matters to us. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I appreciate everybody for watching this and or listening. Y'all let me know because we got 71 new cards and I only covered just just the new legendary creatures here. If there is a want for me to do the rest of it, I can. There's really no point in doing I guess I could do another video on the reprints and just hit the highlights. Yeah, y'all tell me what you think. If you've listened this far, you're 41 minutes in. Maybe I don't know. Y'all let me know. But stay safe, everybody, and we'll see you next time.